This won't be a long video, I don't think. See how it goes on, I don't know. My dad, he died when I was 13. My earliest memories of my dad, I'll talk about my mum in another video. I'll give them one video each, I think. But my earliest memories of my dad were, I was at my grandma's house, because me and my sister lived with my grandma on his side, his mother. Was him coming and giving me a birthday present one year. And I'm not sure how old I would have been, but I'm guessing maybe 6, because I'd started school. 6, maybe, something like that. No, I wouldn't have been any older, maybe 5. I don't know. Anyway, he came and he gave me a present and he was gone. But he was born in the 60s. When he was born, my grandma was in her 50s. He has an older sister. I'm not sure how old she is, but she was born maybe 20 years before. And he was, how can I say it? He liked getting up to mischief when he was a kid. Like, he put a bag of flaming on somebody's doorstep for a joke. When the guy came out, he had a heart attack. Now, that's not a funny story, really. That's not what he, planned. I think he was a young teenager when he did that. So that's one story I know about him. And I know that, like, when he was a kid, he was a bit of a pyromaniac anyway, because apparently, thanks Athena, he used to start fires in his bedroom and things like that. That didn't come down to me though, luckily. I'm glad about that. What else is there? I don't know about when he was growing up. That's more or less all I really know about that. I was never told much. He had a comic shop and a record. It was a comic. It sold comics and records. When I was growing up, I was about 8, maybe something like that, when he got the shop. Athena, move. And he got run out of town by a rival shop. I'm not going to say their name. They're a well-known shop in Manchester. They burnt his shop, burnt all his stock, because they didn't want the competition. That could have been, that he might still be alive. If he'd been allowed to run that shop, he might still be alive now, maybe. I don't know, do I? But, that's the way it was. I don't want to talk about that too much because it's annoying. I don't really know why I'm making this video, to be honest with you. I'm more or less just making it for myself, but being self-indulgent, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, I think I said this in another video. He came and looked after me and my sister a couple of times. And when he came, he rented out films for us to watch. Like, he got out Terminator and he got Aliens for us to watch. And I think he might have got Fright Night as well, and The Fly. He got The Fly as well, which, if you've not seen it, that's pretty. There's a lot of horrible stuff in that. It's one of them body morphing horror films, like The Thing or something like that. It's about a guy who literally turns into a fly, a giant fly. Anyway, so he wasn't around a lot. If you've ever heard that song by The Temptations, I think it is, Papa was a Rolling Stone, and when he died, all he left us was alone. Well, yeah, that sums it up quite well, because when he died, other people took all his stuff. I didn't get any of his possessions. Nothing came to me. I got given a cross that was his, that he used to wear, and it was given away without my being told. It was just given away. After all, what's it got to do with me? I'm not allowed anything. I won't say who did it, because I don't want to, because that annoys me as well. I don't understand why. And my sister as well, she didn't get anything either. Neither of us did. We got nothing. I think I've already talked about when he died. He was really drunk that night. He wasn't a good... When he drank, he wasn't good to be around sometimes. Quite, Sometimes he was, but it wasn't good. No, it wasn't good for him to get drunk. And he'd been taking other things as well. I don't really know what, but... Like, we went to these people's house to be looked after when my mum went out, because we were living with my mum by then. And he was there. And he must have been drinking all day because he was really drunk. And he said some things he shouldn't have said to my sister that upset her. She ran off. And then, yeah, he was just being very abusive to everybody. So the person whose house it was asked him to leave. So he left. But he hung around outside. Now, I don't know what happened when he was outside. All I know is that, like, he was out there in front of the house. I was on the couch watching TV. I fell asleep. Next thing I know, the ambulance is outside. And he was dead. And that's all I know. But, like, there's somebody, doesn't matter who it is, seems to think I should have been able to do something. A 13-year-old child. Because I was 13 when that... I was 13 when that happened. What can I, as a 13-year-old child, do when an adult of his own free will is drunk? I don't want it to be the case. I didn't want my dad to die. I wanted him to still be alive now. I didn't want my mum to die either. I want her to still be alive now, but they're both gone. And it's because of their own actions. And I feel bad for saying this. I feel like I shouldn't be saying this, like I'm betraying some kind of trust or something. But they went out and did these things, and they didn't think about me or Vicky, my sister. They didn't think about us. All they cared about was having a good time. Both my mum and my dad were the same. If they had money today, they'd spend every single penny today and not give 1 second thought for tomorrow. I've seen them both do it. Spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds on rubbish, on takeaways, on drinks, on stuff like, that they don't need, on clothes. Well, fair enough, you need clothes, but you don't need to spend all of your money. Like when I don't know about my dad, I'm going on to my mum now really, but when she used to get her child benefit, whatever day it was, I think it was a Monday, we'd got to school, me and my sister, and she'd get it in the morning and we'd come home, and by the time we come home from school, there'd be no money left, and there'd be no food in the fridge or the cupboards. Now, that didn't happen every single time. Sometimes she'd buy enough food for a couple of days, but she couldn't manage. It's that generation. That generation, I think, is responsible for the state this country's in now. Because a lot of them just wanted to just drink and take drugs and mess about and not build anything. It's like that story of the man who built his house on the sand and the rains came and washed it away. That's what I feel like's happened to my family. The rains come down and washed it all away, and I'm left on my own. That's how I feel about it. But they had money. My dad had money. When my granddad, on his side, died, they sold the house and he got a lot of money. And he just went to his fair weather friends. And my mum was annoyed with him about this, and she should have been annoyed with him about it as well. He went to his fair weather friends and he spent thousands and thousands of pounds on buying these people takeaways and alcohol and other things. But me and my sister, we didn't get anything. All we got was forgotten about. I'm trying not to get annoyed. It's annoying. It's not fair. When you have kids, they should be your number one priority. Even if you get divorced, the children should come before anything. Growing up, I was never taught how to manage money or anything like that. There was no emphasis on like saving stuff for another day, saving up for another day, nothing like that. It was just, you've got it, spend it, forget, you've got it, you spend it, worry about tomorrow. That was actually said to me. Worry about tomorrow. That's a really bad way of thinking. I'm going to be alive tomorrow, hopefully, and I'm going to need things. But I won't have things because all the money I've had, I didn't put any aside. And I'm not going to go on much longer. It's turned into a rant. I'm sorry. I don't know that anybody will even watch this, but if you got this far, thanks. Thanks for doing that. I kind of lost the thread now of what I was saying, but I loved my dad. I loved my mum, but I'm not blind to the things that they did that were not good. The stupid things they did. No, I'm going to leave it there. I don't really know where I can go from here. But, if anybody wants to comment, then leave a comment and I'll get back to you. To tie it into the things that are on the channel, I'll just quickly mention this. I only think that I'm being followed by this, whatever it is, because my mum messed about with magic, witchcraft and all that, and it's attached itself to me. Now, I do remember reading one of them books, and I read one of the spells out. I'm not saying that's why it's attached to me or following me, but it might be. If that book hadn't been there, I wouldn't have read it out, would I? I was only like maybe 7 or 8 at the time. I didn't read it very well because I wasn't very good at reading, but I read it out. And I got some of it. One part of it I got wrong. I do know that. So I don't know if that's it, or I don't know if it's something before. It might not even be that. It might be something before, because there were little strange things that were happening even before then. One of my earliest memories is going to Heaton Park when on the first day out with school. School took us to Heaton Park. I think it was before we broke up for Christmas or something like that. And I've not been there for years, but there's some stone lions outside the main house, because there's a big house, and it was like facing that way like that. I'll show you how they did it. I'll try and show you. It was facing that way, and as I was looking at it, it went like this. With that motion, and it looked at me. And I closed my eyes and rubbed them, and then I looked, and it was back facing the way it was before. And that's one of my earliest memories. And at the time, I just took it for granted. It was only when I told people later that I started to feel strange about it, mostly because they were saying, "Oh, it's just your imagination." No, it wasn't my imagination. It definitely happened. I don't know why it happened, but it definitely happened. But anyway, I am going to leave it there. I'll maybe make a video about that. Maybe reenact it like I did with the poster. If you want me to do that, tell me and I'll do it. But anyway, that's enough. I'm going now. Thanks for watching, and if you want to give me a thumbs up, you want to subscribe, all that stuff, then thanks, I appreciate it. But anyway, bye for now.